Honestly, I was so excited to get my hands on this Ulanzi VL49 Pro because I already have the older version and I love it so much. It never failed on me, it works great, bright, light, but does the newer version live up to the name? I am undeniably a fan of Ulanzi product. I have a bunch of them, like this phone holder, a tripod, another tripod, a ball head, a grip head. I have their mobile lens for my iPhone 11 setup. I have this Ulanzi, that Ulanzi. I even have products from its sister company, Vidjam, as well. I love the brand so much because they are kind of like this beacon of value for us normal content creators. I mean, they deliver great quality products at such an affordable price. For example, this right here, the VL49. It's a portable RGB light that has a magnet, has presets, has fast enough dials, and easy to mount anywhere for quick accent lighting or key light or close-up fill light. So when I saw they came up with the newer version and even dubbed it as a Pro, you know I was excited. Like, I couldn't control myself, so I immediately asked my friends over at N4 Camera Store. By the way, this is not a sponsor slot, but they have been very nice to supply me with products to review, and I was even a customer way before all of this happened. So yeah, you guys should really check them out because they've been very supportive of my work, alright? I mean, it's simple really, it's nothing fancy, it's just an RGB light that is very versatile and can be very useful for product shots or any scenes that you want to use. There's a lot of preset scenes that you can use, and there's a lot of options that you can use for different kind of situations. And the Pro version here has magnets on each side, enabling you to mount it almost anywhere. Okay, almost anywhere. But if it's not metal, they even included a metal plate with double-sided tape for you to be able to mount it anywhere. Like, I mean, anywhere you want. Yeah, I know it's funny. You can also set any temperature of the white light you want along with its intensity, and that goes the same for choosing any color you wish, also giving you the choice of how saturated the color you want it to be. The whole color spectrum in the palm of your hands.
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
There are a bunch of presets built into the Ulanzi VL49 Pro here that might be useful for your scene, although I do have to warn you that Malaysian police lights do not flicker like this. So you have to be mindful of these kind of little details as well. Oh, and guess what? Compared to the older version, this VL49 Pro lets you set the brightness of any presets so you aren't stuck with like 100% brightness all the time, which is such an improvement, honestly. They do also give you these silicone covers, which might help in certain situations. One diffuser and another is a honeycomb grid. Well, I guess it is. So it softens the light a little bit, but I would say the grid makes a lot more difference than the diffuser itself. There is a little bit more heft to it because it has a lot more magnets than the previous model. Although not very noticeable, I would say it's still comfortable for you to carry around in your bag. And it also has this, you know, like a string strap. Maybe you don't want to put it in the bag or you want to hook it somewhere. You can do that as well. The battery is slightly bigger at 2500 milliamps, but charges at the same rate as before, which means it takes a while to fully charge, but it does last around about 90 minutes of use on a single charge. Unfortunately, this is where the fun stops, you know, because honestly, I feel like this product feels a little bit too rushed and was not well thought out. You see, the controls here at the back, it took me quite a while to get used to them, you know. It's supposed to help you. It's supposed to be very intuitive for the users. I mean, our brains, or at least mine, is used to having the plus sign on the right and the minus sign on the left. It's a small detail, but it kind of throws you off a little bit at the first time you use it. You want to customize your settings, right? It takes quite a long while to change your hues, your brightness and saturation, and time is money in any level of video or photo production. You can't have your team sit there and wait for the light to reach your desired settings, right? In any settings from 0 to 100 or 0 to 360, if you want to change the hues, right? It takes a while from the numbers goes up or down. It takes a long while, so it's a little bit annoying there. Yeah, so you guys remember those silicone covers I talked about before? Well, they don't actually stay on perfectly. If you have this hot shoe mount attached, it's going to overlap that and will be really easy to come off. I don't get why they did this. It just feels kind of amateur, not pro-ish, you know? Speaking of the hot shoe mount, it does not stop at the right position. This just feels like a quick and sloppy solution, so you kind of have to fiddle around it to make it stop at the right position you want. And back to the silicone covers, why not just make a cutout of the silicone covers? Because on the top here, there's a pointed shape. I don't know why, but it's there. Maybe it's easier for the VL49 Pro to attach to other VL49 Pros and make a big, you know, section of portable RGB lights. I'm not sure. Someone help me out here. I wish there wasn't more to point out really, but here, look, the cover or the seal at the front is not even. It's not equal. As you can see here from the older version, you can see that it's all equal, right? So being the older version and even the cheaper model, which is still in production, you can still buy the older version. It makes this current pro model new one look, you know, more amateurish than the older one. At least the older one had a more solid quality check from the factory. Well, okay, maybe you guys don't think these are drawbacks. Maybe you guys don't mind the slowness when you change the settings or the unequalness of the seal or whatever, or the silicone covers. Maybe these aren't any problem for you guys, but I just feel like the product is rushed. Like it wasn't well thought through and they did a sloppy job at it. Like I said, it just makes the older version look even more pro than the current one. It is still a relatively affordable light, priced at 120 ringgit here in Malaysia or around $30 on Amazon, but I'm just having a hard time recommending it. Look, I'm putting them side by side for you guys to see what I mean. I'm not just, you know, rambling around, and you guys can see them for yourself. It does look different, right? The quality, it does look different. Too bad as well that the silicone covers doesn't work on the previous model. If it did, it'll be much nicer. At least the newer model can last longer than the older model. And I did hear a few issues from my friends that the older model had, you know, like burnouts on the LEDs. So, I mean, that is fixable with warranty, but it depends on the people. Mine doesn't have any problems at all until now. Pros and cons, guys. Pros and cons. So I've given you the gist of it. You guys have seen the review. You guys have heard my opinion. Now it's left to you guys to think like whether you guys want to buy the new one or the older version. Let me know in the comments. Assalamualaikum.